to go look, they're like, she didn't say crap about us. She talked about you guys. I was using the camera all day to do my cooking show because I did shepherd's pie and I did this seafood mac and cheese. I'm going to put up 2 videos for next week because the shepherd's pie is for St. Patrick's Day, which is next Thursday. So that will appear Monday at the site. And then the seafood mac and cheese will appear on Wednesday for the people who are doing the Friday Lent thing. You know, the Catholics and the Anglicans and the Episcopals and so on. Episcopalians, I guess. Anyways, I want to answer a couple of questions that you guys have been asking. I know Sugar212 has been asking the questions, and perhaps you guys want to ask too, but maybe you're afraid to ask. The first one that I want to address is, who is the young man that was in the video? The disabled young man? That's Joe's nephew. His older sister Glenda is his mom, and he is about 35 years old. The way I heard the story is that he was born healthy and normal, and at 6 months old he developed a fever. I don't know what kind, if it's malaria, whatever, you know, there's a bunch of different things that can give you fever over there in Belize. And unfortunately went to his brain and damaged him. And so we don't really know what he knows. You know, I asked Glenda, can he see? She thinks so. Can he hear? She thinks so. I mean, we don't really know. But Glenda has been the most perfect mom to this young man. She grooms him, she takes care of him, she never leaves his side. And that day she was only right down the street at that funeral, and so the younger daughter was staying and taking care of her older brother. And so this boy has been such a blessing to Glenda, but at the same time he is in such a vegetative state, you know? And so Glenda told me that he responds to touch and to singing, and so I had to go do that because I really pray for him daily and I pray for Glenda daily, and I really hope and believe that the Lord can work a miracle, you know, for Glenda and her beautiful son Pablo. He's so handsome. I didn't put the camera in his face just out of respect, you know, for the family. I do have those pictures for myself, those clips, but I didn't put it right in his face because I wanted to respect, you know, Glenda and the rest of the family. So the next question is, the house that we stayed at, was that my mom and dad's house? Yes, it is. That's not the house that I was raised in, though. There was a different house there when I was younger. It was smaller. And my dad said at that time he put all his money into the foundation of making the house because Belize is hurricane infested. So we grew up in a smaller house, and then I left when I was 50. My uncle Norman moved in with his wife, the same evil woman, and his son Randy. They lived there for like 10 or 15 years until he built his own house, and then mom and dad had the old house demolished. My sister has a drawing at her house of the old house, and then they built that little villa. Well, they call it the little villa, but it has 3 bedrooms, 2 upstairs with a full bath downstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs, that dining room, living room, and a 2-car garage, and the kitchen, which my mom doesn't allow anybody to cook in. Okay, the stove is not even hooked up. All right. So the house that I also gave you a tour of when I was at the repast, the house when I was talking to my cousin, that was where I was partly raised to. That was Grandma and Grandpa's house. After Grandpa died in 1986, there was still a mortgage out on the house. So my mom, Uncle Norman that died, and Uncle Roger, the younger one that lives at my mom's house, they took over and paid it off. And the rest of the siblings wanted nothing to do with paying off the house. So guess what? They don't get to get any part of the house. They were pissed, but who cares? So Mom, Uncle Roger and Uncle Norman owned the house for many, many years. I think it took them about 10 years to pay it off. So from 86 to 96. So they've been owning it forever and ever and ever. And then they just sold it to Susie in 2014 because Mom says it was too much upkeep, and Uncle Norman wanted Susie to have it. So Susie bought the house, and her mom Emilia and her sister Nerda still lives in the back house. That's where they've lived for like 43 years. There were 8 of us cousins that lived in my grandma's house at one time or the other. Norman Jr., which we call Poppy, he was my Uncle Norman's son, Susie's older brother. He came from Arkansas. He was the other cousin that I told you guys that was on the plane with us. He left Belize when he was 10, so we've only seen him off and on. So it was him, Susie and Nerda was in the back house with their mom, so they were always in Grandma's house during the daytime. And then it was my older brother, me, and my sister from my mom's side. And then from my aunt Lita's side, it was my cousin Effie and her sister Sally. So there were 8 of us that were always at the feet of grandma and grandpa. And we feel like more like siblings than cousins. And the other cousins, the one that took over the funeral, they were not even around. And I think my family thinks that I'm not going to talk about this publicly. But I am talking about it publicly because they have to be stopped. So I sent off a direct message, not an email, direct message to Sherry Shepherd to see if she's still gonna come. And I haven't heard back from her yet, but I am still crossing my fingers, my eyes and my toes that she will come between now and the end of the month like she promised. I told her, you don't have to cook. We'll have everything ready. You just be your awesome self and promote anything that you want to promote because we're just so happy to have you. So let's see if she comes, guys. You guys pray for me, okay? Because I really want her to come. I'm still deciding if I'm going to go to a funeral tomorrow. The young men that came here, remember the young men that makes the movies, Farron and Ja? Their grandmother died and they're having a funeral tomorrow in LA, and I'm tempted to just go for the church part of it and not maybe stay for the burial and the repast and all that stuff. And just to go to support them because they're such wonderful young men. So I'm still deciding if I'm going to go or not. That's Joe over there paying the man for the belt. This is what I got for my phone case. Cute, right? But it's kind of slippery. I gotta be careful I don't drop it. Look at my shadow, guys. Look at Joe.
Ain't nothing much. Same old, same old.
I didn't say what's up, Joe. I said look at Joe.
Oh, I think I said what's up, Joe. See, imagine when you're deaf, you can't understand what people say.
You know, Terry's deaf too. Terry Lyle. My friend from YouTube that taught me how to eat those peppers. The dogs are barking up a storm. So we've decided that we're gonna go to the funeral. Joe, is this light on? Is it my door?
What you do?
Hold on, let me see if it's my door, guys. Is it your door? You see why the battery dies sometimes? Because is it the back hatch? Okay, it went off. Yeah. So we decided that we're gonna go to the funeral and we're just gonna go to the services itself and not the burial or the repast.
You guys ready?
Yeah, look at like a squid.
Let's get you too.
Be alright if you don't worry about a thing. Singing is our message to you. Don't worry about a thing. I said, tell me what you gonna do. Everything is gonna be.
Huh? Joe's gonna take me to lunch to Chabalita. They're not having a burial because they're gonna take the body home to bury the lady in Belize. Ja and Farron was really happy that we came. They really celebrated us. It was a beautiful service. It's a service that I wish that they had for my uncle at the graveside, because his service was beautiful inside the Anglican church, but at the graveside I don't think they did him justice because of all that Jehovah's Witness stuff that was going on and how upset everybody was. So Joe's gonna take me to Chabalita and I feel renewed, I feel rejuvenated, and I better quit so I can cross the street. This is our favorite haunt, guys. We always come here when we come to LA. This is what I wore for the funeral. It's kind of chilly out today, but not too bad. But Joe and I used to always come to this place when we lived in LA, so we always have to come back. We're showing our roots, baby. After you eat this, you have to go home and suck on a big old bottle of honey. My sister heard that I was here, and she called and told me to bring her 4 burritos ASAP.
What should we do?
Mommy snitched. she said mom snitched. Alright guys, so we just left mom's. She's not doing so well today. She had the chemo on Wednesday and she's never sick on the day of chemo. The next day she wasn't so good. That was Thursday. Friday was worse. Today was a little bit better than Friday, but I think you know, she'll see a turnaround tomorrow. She says if she feels well enough, she'll get in the car and drive up to my house and sit for a couple of hours. I hope she can do it, because I think sometimes you can... Joe's getting on the freeway, so I'm like all nervous. Sometimes when you are sick and you stay in your bed and convalesce, you kind of get worse. So maybe she can come sit up in the recliner, laugh and talk with us, and things will be better. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I have to call this lady back. This lady is a YouTube viewer that has become a friend. She cares about me, so she just saw the videos that I put up with the evil that my family did at the funeral, so I'm gonna call her back, alright? Mom's got out the house today because Daddy said the bed is sucking her in. 4 days after first chemo, only 3 rounds this time. I don't think you'll lose your hair.
I hope not.
Marcy didn't lose her hair on this round. She didn't lose her hair. Monday, March the 14th, guys. We're heading to go put some gas because Joe let this thing run right down to nothing. When we were going to LA on Saturday, you said you have half a tank,
No,
right?
it's quarter.
A quarter of a tank. I told him in my old age, I am not pushing any more cars. I had to push cars in my youth, you know? So I'm not pushing any more cars. So pray for us to make it to the gas station, or we're gonna have to call for Jory. Joe's laughing because he says these lights are gonna let us run out of gas.
Gotta stop. You gotta stay still quick so long.
He goes, the light took too long. We're gonna run out of gas. But here's the gas station right here, guys. We're bad. Made it into the shop Monday morning. I taped like a whole segment on the way to the shop, and for some reason it's not showing up on the camera, so I'm glad I checked. So let me tell you guys the update. Mom came up yesterday. She really was not doing well. She hardly ate. She ate like half of the back of a chicken, which is like maybe 2 tablespoons of meat. I made a flour tortilla for her that was so small, almost like the size of a small pancake. She only ate half of that, and then she ate you know how graham crackers come with 4 segments on it, or 4 pieces? She ate 1/4 of that, so she only ate 1 of the segments. And I think she had a popsicle, and so I really think she was dehydrated on top of not eating, and she didn't have a good night. Dad called us at 4:45 in the morning. He rushed her to emergency, and he thought she needed to be tapped, but I checked her belly when she was there yesterday, and it didn't feel or look as big as it normally does when she needs to be tapped. And so when he got there, they told him, I don't know if they told him there was no water. They just said it's too soon for her to be tapped. And so they gave her morphine and anti-nausea meds. And then I got a text from, no, I got a call from Jory. Joe came in. I got a call from Jory saying that Grandpa called the house phone when I was on the way to work, and that they were sending them home. So I assumed that she was doing a lot better if they were sending them home. So my sister has security cameras all around her house, so she was able to see that they came in, and she's waiting for her to settle in before she goes over there, and I'm waiting for them to settle in before I call. So I'm hoping that the morphine and the anti-nausea meds that they gave her helped her a lot, because they have to give that through fluids. And the fluids is the thing that I think she needed. She needed to be rehydrated, because the dehydration will kill you, man. So I'm at work. We're waiting for a shipment to come from one of my favorite customers, the one that I always have to fight for money. And yeah, if it doesn't come by midday, I'm going home. But it's a dreary, dreary day. Let me see if I can show you guys. See? Overcast and dreary. And I don't know what Joe is doing in here. He came in and he grinned kind of sneakingly. What are you doing, my love?
Warm up the computer.
I heard you scratching something. You have a lottery ticket you're scratching? I heard scratching. You're always amazed at how good I can hear, huh? Huh?
Yeah, scratching from
Joe's like, you can really hear. So we're thinking we're gonna make Sherry a bouquet of the stocking flowers that Joe does so well. This camera's not doing it justice, but that's like a baby pink. That's a white. We bought this white to dye it yellow. We're gonna use the red from this, and we can actually use the black if we turn the petals backward to make a tulip. But show me the dye. Show me the dye, honey bun. We don't know how the yellow is gonna come, but this is how it looks so far. So we're thinking a bouquet of flowers for Sherry to just really thank her, you know, if she does come. Or if not, Joe is going to use his spot welder here if it still works, because this stuff was giving trouble. The tips don't last too long. And try to make her a small fruit bowl like we have on the dinner table. Right, babe? When are we going to do that?
Sometime this week.
Sometime this week? Okay. So that's what we're thinking we're going to do for Sherry, right, Joe? Hey guys, 4 o'clock in the evening Monday, and I'm heading out to the gym in a little bit. But you guys, I wanted to let you know, 12 hours ago, I was so stressed out because Dad had called to say he was taking Mom to the emergency. Thank God she needed fluids and meds, and she's good. And I had a fantastic day today because when I got to work, Joe was trying to show me this picture that he saw from, you know, a family member on Facebook, and he couldn't find it. So as we were scrolling, I discovered that I got unfriended and blocked from my Uncle Mike's Facebook. And do you guys know why? Because of the video that I uploaded where I said his wife and kids were classless. Not the one daughter. We didn't have anything against the one daughter that made amends. And then the other uncle, his wife and kids are pretty much classless too and scumbags. And so I don't know who saw it first. I don't know how they found it because I did not share it on Facebook, but they found it. You notice the video has a lot of views. They're like sharing it around Belize. They're so stupid because I'm talking about them. So they try to get the other cousins together and say they're talking about us, meaning us Belizean cousins. And when the cousins went to go look, they're like, she didn't say crap about us. She talked about you guys. And so they don't have any, what do you call it? No army. They have no allegiance with the rest of them, right? And so over here, it's only me, myself, and I, and my husband. And thank God I don't do anything without my husband's permission, because when I put it up there, he's like, put it out. I don't care. I give you permission to do this. I know it's going to open a can of worms, but you do it because they've wronged you so many times since you were young. And basically you take it and take it and take it and shove your feelings down inside, and it's going to make you ill, like how your mom has cancer. So you know what? You say anything you want to say, just show me first before you put it out there. So I did. I never do anything without my husband's permission. So bring it on. I'm ready. Come say something at my page. Come, because I know all your secrets. I have nothing to hide. I've lived a clean life and I have absolutely nothing to hide. Now let me tell you something about people. I've always believed this. If somebody is not for you, they're against you, okay? So watch your friendships and how they line up. Like, for instance, if you see this person, they say they're your friend and they love you, yet they know that person over there is your enemy and they're still friends with them. Watch it. Watch it, because somebody you are trusting is trusting somebody you may not be trusting, okay? So I'm just saying, I know that I got me, I got God, and I got Joe. I don't want reconciliation. This is not Rodney King here. No, we don't want to get along. Anyways, guys, I got to go to the gym. People are blowing up my phone because I have family in Utah now that's watching. Megan and Brian and Kathy and them are watching the videos. And they're just like, oh my God, oh my. They're so scared because they're extended family, you know. So I was like, don't be afraid of them. They can't hurt us. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. Please check out my other channels right here to the right of your screen, the cooking channel, the product review channel, and Joe's channel. The links are in the description box.